The stories you are about to hear are true, but some details, like the names, have been changed to protect the innocent.
I would like to show you 3 simple things I learned based on my time in the CIA that you can do right now to protect yourself from a home invasion, especially in a crisis when neighbors will turn into looters. It'll take less than 5 minutes and it's completely free, but it could save your life one day. To protect Americans in the most hostile war zones, the CIA developed special techniques that its officers use every day to outsmart America's enemies. And if these methods are effective against highly trained spies, terrorists, and enemy soldiers, imagine how they could protect your house from common looters, especially during a crisis when law enforcement will be too busy to help you. My name is Jason Hansen. I'm a former CIA officer. I proudly served my country, earning 2 exceptional performance awards. During that time, I witnessed firsthand how quickly society can collapse and descend into lawlessness when faced with a widespread crisis. I can't disclose everything I've done and everywhere I've been, but I can definitely tell you that there are fallen heroes in the agency who defended our country and whose names you'll never hear about in the news. After my time in the CIA, I started helping others protect their homes using the same type of methods perfected in the agency. Unfortunately, many came to me after already suffering a home invasion. These people thought they were safe from their own house, just like you might be feeling right now. Many of them believed that because they owned a gun, they could defend themselves against a home intruder. And while I'm definitely a gun owner myself, and I believe you should have a gun, the sad truth is that some of these people were caught off guard and they couldn't get to their gun in time. A professional burglar or a looter will study your daily routine, find out when you're most vulnerable, and take you by surprise. This is exactly what happened to Mary Ann. She came to me devastated after having been raped during a violent home invasion. After getting home from work, Mary Ann went about her nightly routine. And when it was time to go to bed, she checked all the doors and windows to make sure they were locked, just like she did every single night. Then she headed to the bedroom, turned the lights off, and went to sleep. She woke up in pure terror to a man holding his hand over her mouth and another with a gun glued to her temple. That was just the beginning of what was going to be a long, horrific night that would change her life forever. It took Mary Ann days to physically recover, but mentally, she was obviously destroyed. She couldn't help but think someone was in her house, hiding, ready to attack her at any single moment. She relives that nightmare almost every time she closes her eyes to fall asleep. That feeling of being helpless, abused, and begging for mercy. Can you imagine waking up with a gang of intruders and looters in your house? Who knows what they might do to you or your family? I've heard stories about things so gruesome that I simply can't say them here. This isn't something that just happens on TV. This is real life, and these things take place, unfortunately, every single day. People come to me all the time with stories like this. That night, Mary Ann had gone to sleep knowing that all her doors and all her windows were locked. But let me show you how easy it is to unlock a door and wake someone up with a gun in their face. You don't have to be a career burglar to know how to pick a lock. Anybody can do it in mere minutes after watching some YouTube tutorial. If you really want to be secure inside your own home, you'll need more than just a simple door lock. A favorite of mine is this device right here. This is both a door stopper and an alarm. You just place it in the front door and that's it. It's that simple. Plus, you can take this doorstop with you when you're traveling, like if you're staying at a hotel where you're not the only one that has the key or the card to your door, and this is perfect for college students to use as security for their dorm room. With the doorstop, it won't matter if they have a key or if they pick the lock. They simply won't be able to enter without setting off a blaring alarm. In my time working as a private security specialist, I came across a lot of frightening, grisly cases. But also, some of the victims were extraordinarily lucky. Like George, who came to me after a shootout with a looter in his own home. It was a regular Sunday evening. Shortly after tucking their young children into bed, he and his wife went up to their bedroom to call it a night. George woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom, and that's when he heard the footsteps. Someone was climbing up the stairs toward their bedroom. Thinking that it was one of their children, George turned on the lights only to see a masked man pointing a gun at him. The first shot nearly grazed his head. George slammed the bedroom door shut and rushed to get his gun. What followed was a brief exchange of bullets. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but the burglar did manage to escape. I think a few weeks later, police finally arrested the perpetrator after he broke into another house, but that family wasn't so lucky. The parents were tied up and tortured. In both cases, when police investigated the crime scenes, they concluded the intruder, unsurprisingly, had entered through the back door. You see, that's actually one of the most common break-in places due to its concealed location where neighbors and passing cars won't take notice. So, you better make sure that you have some kind of security system in your backyard that will alert you when someone's sneaking in. In the CIA, early information gives us the edge over the enemy, and having an early warning that someone's breaking in means you also have an early warning and time to prepare. Let me show you a simple device that could have warned George even if he was sleeping. It's something that intelligence operatives know very well, and it doesn't even need to be connected to a power source. So, in a blackout, for instance, you can rest assured that you and your loved ones will be well protected against anyone trying to break in. It's called a tripwire. Basically, it's an early warning system that sets off an alarm when someone is trespassing on your property. But most importantly, you'll be more than ready to properly welcome your uninvited guest. Cameras are great too, but unless you're monitoring them 24/7, they're only good for catching criminals after the deed is done. The tripwire prevents things from happening in the first place. And in a blackout, which will probably happen in the next crisis, cameras will be useless since they rely on electricity. In the next few minutes, I'll show you where to get and how to use the tripwire you've just seen. Shockingly, what happened to Marianne and George is by no means unique. In fact, according to FBI data, there are 2.5 million home invasions in the United States every year. But that's just a number until it happens to you. Jennifer came to me after a recent home robbery and said to me, "Jason, I used to hate you because you're so pro-gun and I'm anti-gun. I never took what you said seriously, and I didn't think it could ever happen to me until it did." I told her, "Look, I'm not here to convince you to get a gun. That's your business. I'm here to make sure you don't need one in the first place. Listen, using a gun should obviously be your very last resort. Not to mention, a shooting case, even if it's legal, can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Plus, being dragged through the court system is a nightmare that can last for several years. And even if you are acquitted, the time wasted in court and the stress that comes with it can ruin your family life, your job, or your business. Just look at the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. He shot 3 looters in self-defense. Sure, he was found not guilty, but when it was all said and done, his lawyer fees were over $362,000. Or even worse, just imagine if you shoot a gang member. You're always going to be looking over your shoulder knowing that his buddies will be out for revenge. You don't want those problems. My job is to prevent these things from happening to you in the first place, just like in the agency where we took preemptive measures before the enemy had a chance to carry out their plan. The truth is, the terrorist attacks you do hear about are really just the tip of the iceberg compared to all the ones that were stopped by the men and women who defend our country every single day. But one thing we did notice when we analyzed the countless failed plots against us is that terrorists obviously prefer weak and unprotected targets. That's why I want to tip the scale in your favor. When a looter stumbles across your house or a burglar begins to case it, you'll have enough deterrence to make sure they never make it inside your home and that you can quickly defend yourself. A simple way to let looters know that your property is really not worth the risk is by placing a written security sign in your yard. But there is a trick to it. Depending on what it says, it can either serve as a great deterrent or an open invitation. For example, looters will be shot on sight is a dead giveaway that you're probably a prepper. The word looter is usually used by people who are preparing for a crisis, and any thief worth their salt knows there's probably a lot of stuff worth stealing inside, like a food stockpile, for example. On top of that, I personally wouldn't use the word shot because in a court of law, it could be used against you since it indicates that you're going to shoot first and ask questions later. Depending on the circumstances, you might get away with it, but why would you ever take that risk when you can easily avoid it by using a better deterrent? The sign I like the most will make a looter think twice. It's not a giveaway that you have something of value on your property and it can't be used against you in court. Nothing in this house is worth your life. Just think about what a looter looking for his next target thinks when he reads that. Besides that, the sign doesn't imply any action from the homeowner. but it's clear enough to make the looter move on to the next house. You see, when my clients came to me fearing they could become the victims of a home invasion, I decided to put together a set of devices that would discourage any looter that might be thinking of breaking in. It'll block them from bursting through your door, and most importantly, sound off an alarm so you're never taken by surprise. This kit doesn't rely on the power grid, so unlike most systems, you can definitely use it in a blackout. It's also portable, so you can take it with you while traveling as well. It's called the Anti-Looter Kit. In my career as a CIA officer, I was blessed to have access to some amazing gear. That's why I wanted to ensure that all the devices in the anti-looter kit were of the highest quality. There's simply zero compromising when it comes to protecting your life and those you love. Also, the anti-looter kit doesn't require any professional installation or even technical know-how. It comes ready-made and ready to use. It doesn't matter if you are a man or a woman, 20 years old or 70 years old, this kit is easy to set up and easy to use. Once it's up, you'll have peace of mind knowing that the weakest entry points, like your backyard for example, your windows and your garage door, are all protected even when you're asleep or away from home. So let me show you exactly what you'll find in the anti-looter kit. Here's the sign I told you about. It's hard metal, it's weather resistant and highly visible. You can just place it on your front lawn or attach to your fence, door, porch, garage, or anywhere else you want. Another powerful deterrent that you'll find in the anti-looter kit is this tiny device that monitors your doors and windows, creating a loud ringing sound when an intruder tries to open them. You see, burglars want to get in and out of your home as quickly and quietly as possible. That's why they prefer to enter through a door or first floor window. But a burglar might not risk breaking into your home if there's a loud alarm alerting you and your neighbors of their presence. There are no wires involved. The alarm comes with batteries already inside. They should last you about 5 years. And when the batteries are low, the alarm will notify you so that you can easily replace them. Let me just show you how easy it is to secure your door and windows. Simply remove the safety seal and mount the sensor to any door or window frame using these adhesive strips that come with a kit. You can even mount it to a drawer or closet to secure the valuables inside. The sensors are also very discreet and are specifically designed to blend in and not to draw a lot of attention and be noticed. And if you ever need to relocate them, the adhesive strips won't leave any marks behind. Then all you have to do is use the remote to simply alarm it. When a looter breaks into your house, this is what happens. To disarm the alarm, simply press this button right here. The anti-looter kit includes 4 sensor alarms like this and 2 remotes that you can share with your family members. Not only can you sleep well at night knowing the most vulnerable areas in your home are well protected, but you'll also never worry when you're at work or on vacation that someone's breaking into your house. Also, here's a really cool feature that I like. This is the panic button. If you're ever in any trouble, just press the button to let everyone know that something's wrong and that you need help. By pressing the function button, you can also set the alarm to act as a doorbell. That way, you'll always know when someone's coming in and going out. And here's the tripwire that I mentioned earlier. It's a simple but brilliant device that protects your home, front yard, backyard, and garage by connecting a nearly invisible wire to 2 separate points. Just tie the free part of the wire to something firm like a tree or fencing or a stake in the ground. Do the same for the alarm part. And now you're all set. If someone trips the wire, a loud ringing sound will warn you and those around you that someone has entered your perimeter. You're also going to get this ingenious gadget that uses a powerful infrared sensor to detect any unusual movement inside your home when you're at work. You can even connect it to your smartphone. This way, you'll also receive an instant notification if an unwanted visitor is roaming through your house. This device can be connected to a lamp or a TV, and it will turn on automatically when the motion sensor is activated. To install the motion detector, simply peel off the back of the adhesive strip and attach it to the back side of the removable stand. If you prefer a more permanent solution, I've also included 2 short screws that you can use to attach it to any wall. Once mounted, you can rotate the pivot joint to face in the direction you want it to go. I recommend placing the sensor in a corner facing out. That way, you're able to cover the largest possible area. And what's really cool about this motion sensor is that it can detect movement from up to 30 feet away. Just imagine coming home at night, going inside, and without warning, getting ambushed by a looter. With this motion detector right here, you'll always enter your home without worry, knowing it's no different than when you left it. It's like having your very own personal security guard keeping an eye on your house even when you're not there. And just to make sure that you and your family are safe and secure, I've included not one, but 2 motion detectors. Plus, this device is also not dependent on the grid and works with regular AA batteries. The motion detector also has a built-in low power reminder that notifies you when the batteries need to be replaced. And if you don't like batteries and love to have things plugged in, it comes with a USB cord so you can power it however you want. Think about that. If George and Marianne had had motion detectors in their homes, would they still have been in these horrible situations? And here's the portable door stopper. All you have to do is place it under the door, and its wedge shape will prevent it from opening. Actually, the harder they push on the door, the more effective it becomes at blocking their entry. It works on tile, wood, cement, and even carpet. But this isn't just a regular door stopper. It's actually a very powerful portable security alarm that'll wake you up if a burglar tries to burst through your door. Just place the door stopper under your front door and you'll be able to get a good night's sleep knowing that your front door is alarmed throughout the night, even if you're traveling and staying in a place that you've never stayed in before. And here's another favorite deterrent of mine. It's a powerful LED floodlight that fills your backyard with bright light if it detects anyone sneaking around outside. This eliminates any hiding places and secures one of the most vulnerable spots on your property. Burglars tend to look for houses with no obvious security, and most break-ins happen at night when intruders can spend time getting into your house under the cover of darkness. With this floodlight, not only will you be alerted if someone's trespassing, but also anyone trying to get into your house is more likely to be spotted by a passerby or a neighbor. Any looter will think twice and move on to find an easier target. The floodlight comes with this remote, which includes 3 different security modes to choose from. The first mode is the one you'll want to use when you're away or sleeping. It's the one that'll beam the brightest light when the sensor detects a person moving. It'll even keep the light on for an additional 15 seconds after the intruder is gone, and it'll stay on if they stick around. In the second mode, you still get the same detection, but with a low light setting. This is good for when you're home and just want to know what's going on around you. The third mode will simply give you a constant low light that can be used as an outdoor lamp. The floodlight is quick and easy to install. There are no cables or batteries involved. That's because this device is solar powered, meaning you'll never ever have to worry about replacing batteries or it not working when the power grid is down. And if that wasn't enough, we made the floodlight in the shape of a surveillance camera to serve as a double deterrent. But there's even more. The kit also comes with the Anti-Looter Home Defense Guide. One of the things you'll find inside is the detailed instructions with pictures so you can follow along step by step as you install the anti-looter kit on your property. But since this kit is so simple and intuitive to install, most people won't be using it for that. That's because in this guide, you'll also discover some of the special tactics that I learned based on my time with the CIA. Things like how to become invisible in a crisis, sneaky ways to outsmart intelligence agencies when they're tracking you, ingenious DIY traps for unwanted intruders, and many, many more things. You'll also discover how to secure every blind spot on your property, places like your backyard, your driveway, porch, garage, and others that you're probably not even aware of. You'll even find instructional blueprints for every kind of dwelling, including one-story houses, multiple-story homes, and apartments. But that's not all. If you decide to take advantage of the anti-looter kit, you'll also receive 2 exclusive gifts. I cannot promise you how long this offer will last. The first one is called 75 items that you need to stockpile before the collapse. Normally, this guide costs $27, but today you can get it for free. Written by longtime survivalist Claude Davis, this book will show you the items that you absolutely need to have before a crisis hits so you know you're safe and protected and never need to worry about starving. These 75 items are for everyday Americans who are going through hard times financially. So don't think that you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars to prepare for the worst. The second one is called The Most Effective Remedies That We Lost to History. You can purchase this guide online for $37, but today you can get it for free. You'll discover things like the driveway weed that has stress-relieving effects, the natural painkiller growing in your backyard, how to use and mix salt, oil, and this herb to restore your gums naturally, and nature's doxycycline, and many other forgotten remedies our ancestors used when the going got tough. So today, if you get the anti-looter kit, you'll also receive these 2 unique gifts, which would normally cost you a total of $64 for free. There's absolutely no way the damage from a home invasion can ever be measured in dollars. It's impossible to put a price on the trauma that never goes away, lifelong injuries, or even worse, the loss of a family member. But just to put things into perspective, the average property value stolen during residential burglaries in the United States in 2022 was $50,026. I know people who invested $10,000 in fancy security systems that pretty much do nothing more than what this kit does. The average security system in the US is around $2,000 to $3,000. What's worse is that they are unreliable as they depend on the power grid. Even if it's not a blackout, any looter or burglar can just cut the power source. With the anti-looter kit, I wanted to create a smart and reliable home defense system that's also affordable so everyone can protect themselves and their loved ones. No one should ever be afraid to be inside their own home, and this is why I pushed hard to get the price of the anti-looter kit as low as possible. So today, you can get the anti-looter kit with a tripwire, 2 infrared motion detectors, the deterrent sign, the door stopper, the floodlight, 4 window alarms, and the home defense guide, plus 75 items that you need to stockpile before the collapse, and the most effective remedies that we lost to history, not for the regular price of $299, but for a one-time payment of just $219. Fortunately, we still have 200 anti-looter kits in stock that were produced just before the recent price hike that increased our production costs. If you act fast, and only if we still have one of these 200 kits available, you can also take advantage of the second discounted price of just $149. So if you want to protect your property, your family, and yourself from looters or home invasions, even in times of crisis or a long-term blackout, simply click on the Add to Cart button below. And in a few short days, the anti-looter kit will arrive at your doorstep. Burglaries are becoming common, everyday occurrences in every city in America. In the crisis to come, it's going to be much, much worse. Secure your property from these dangers so that you can have the peace of mind that no matter what happens around you, you and your family will be safe and sound inside your own home. And because I 100% stand by this one-of-a-kind home defense system, you'll also be covered by my Keep the Kit money-back guarantee. You have 60 days to try the anti-looter kit. And if at any time during those 60 days you are not completely satisfied, I will refund you the price of the kit, but with my exclusive Keep the Kit money-back guarantee. You get to keep every device inside, no questions asked whatsoever. Just send me the tactical case so I can show proof of the return in my inventory, and the kit is yours. It's as simple as that. There are no tricks here. I would rather lose some money here and there knowing that I might have prevented a horrible crime rather than you not taking advantage of this kit because of the price. Look, we live in a dangerous and unpredictable world. A collapse of law and order or even a civil war can happen at any time. It could even happen tomorrow. Or, heaven forbid, you end up like Marianne, George, or countless other everyday Americans who fell victim to home invasions, traumatized for life in the place they feel the safest. I mean, just imagine being tied up in your own house, helpless and unable to protect your family while begging an armed thug for mercy. Don't be an easy target in your own home. Take matters into your own hands and transform your property into an impenetrable fortress, a place where you can truly feel safe regardless of what's going on in the outside world. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, the kit and the 2 bonus gifts are all yours to keep for free if you're not 100% satisfied. Unfortunately, it's impossible to know how long this discounted offer will be available. These kits are flying off the shelves very fast. As you can imagine, a lot of people need them. That's why I urge you to click the button below and take advantage of this one-time special deal while there are still some kits in stock. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and God bless you.